Now, one of the best things about watching any World Cup is seeing the young stars shine on the biggest stage. Down the years, we've had Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo, at the age of just 17 for his nation back in 1994. Look how young he looks there.
The real Ronaldo.
Yes, the real Ronaldo. Lionel Messi's first World Cup was in Germany in 2006. He was aged 18. And the best of the bunch, I suppose, was the great Pelé, scoring 2 goals in the final as he won the World Cup at his first attempt, aged just 17. What a player he was. So we've chosen 3 young players who could make a big impact at the FIFA World Cup 2026. We've got Estevao for Brazil. He plays for Chelsea at 18 years of age. Nico Paz, a little bit older, plays for Como in Italy, will be representing Argentina. He's 21. And then the youngster, Lennart Karl, for Germany, playing for Bayern Munich. We're going to start with Estevao. I think for him, it's been a really fast rise, hasn't it, Ian, at Chelsea? Do you think he's at the level to make enough of an impact when we compare him to some of those greats down the years for Brazil?
Honestly, I think he's going to make the biggest impact of all 3 players. I really do believe that. He's one player who I think can really help a nation that needs a superstar right now to be able to perform well, but also to find joy and to play the football the right way. This kid's got something real unique, special about him. The way he moves, he's a lost art in the beautiful game now. I think he's accepted by the world's best right now of how good he is. Everyone sort of respects him for what he does do. And he's got something special about him. He's got that extra special sort of stardust about him. So it's great to see him. Listen, I think for players under the age of 23, he'd probably be the one that stands out to me the most and can have the biggest impact. He's been incredibly good since he's arrived at Chelsea Football Club. Very, very good in the Premier League. And I think also important that he was very good before he got to Chelsea Football Club as well. It's not just about what he did do at Chelsea. At Palmeiras, the guy was creating and scoring goals as a even younger teenager. So this is pretty special, and the stats simply don't lie. Do I want to see more? Yes, but with experience that will come. Also more time on the pitch. He's at a club that's got a great deal of depth, and sometimes it's frustrating to be able to get into that starting 11. But I do believe that this guy's got the X factor, and he's someone who can really step up.
I was going to ask you on that starting lineup thing, because he hasn't always been straight into the team under Maresca. Is that because Maresca's just protecting him a little bit? Why do you think he's not one of the first names in the team sheet every week?
Well, he's young, and I do think there's a protectiveness, if that is such a word, for someone like Estevao who comes to the club, obviously with a great deal of media presence about him. There is talent around this Chelsea roster who would be knocking on the door probably ahead of him to get into that starting 11. So I do understand that, yeah, he's going to have to be patient. But if you look at what's happened to Chelsea this season, when it's not gone well for them, they've thrown the kid out there. They've thrown Estevao out there and said, hey kid, come on, let's see what you do. So I kind of had a look at some of the graphics to try and figure out where does he get contact on the ball for Chelsea when he does play in the Premier League? Where is his touches on the ball? Where can he be creative? This doesn't lie to me. This is someone who picks up the ball on that right-hand side. Now, if you notice, the green passes are the complete passes. He picks up possession of the ball in that wide right area, always sort of hugging the touchline at him. And what I love about this is not the green. He gets on the ball a lot, yes, because he wants the ball a lot. A lot of teenagers don't want the ball. This kid is Brazilian and says, give me the ball, let me make the magic happen. But he's not frightened to try. You see all those red marks that you're seeing right there, those red arrows? Those are passes he's trying. Almost all of them are trying to create an opportunity, trying to break the line of defence, trying to play into the final third. I love this kid. I think he's got something extra special about him. He's incredibly competitive. And I'm going to say this out there. Brazil, no, but hold on. Brazil,
loaded.
Brazil are dying for someone to step up. All of these names right now, all of these names, the only one I could say right now that will give him a run for his money is Rafinha. Not any other players. I'm not saying João Pedro. I'm not saying Richarlison. I'm not saying Vini Jr. Underperformer for a Brazilian national team. Neymar, he's already on vacation somewhere. Rodrigo can't score a goal in 32 games. Recently in good form again. Estevao, for me, has got the X factor that will push all of these players who have a head start of him because of the experience in the national team. I just got a feeling that Ancelotti says, nah. If you're good enough, you're old enough, you're in.
The oldest of the bunch that we've picked is Nico Paz, 21 years of age, going to be playing for Argentina. Do you know his dad played in the World Cup? Pablo Paz. Played for Argentina at World Cup 1998, so good footballing pedigree. I know what you've just said there about Estevao, maybe you disagree with me, but do you think in terms of raw talent, this guy's the most talented of the 3 we've chosen?
Not necessarily agree he's the most talented, but I would say that the ceiling's incredibly high for this player to probably be better than all 3 that we've chosen. He is incredibly talented and not spoken about enough. Why? Because he's playing for Como right now in the Italian league. And I think that sometimes doesn't get the credit he deserves, right? Because he's playing for Como, but he's in the right place at the right time. Who's he learning from? Cesc Fabregas, every day. Can you imagine the information he's taken from Cesc Fabregas every single day?
Who played in his position as well, which is important.
Played in his position and is also teaching him the right things, what to do going forward. Obviously, coming through Real Madrid was always going to be difficult for this kid, right? So therefore, he's gone searching for first-team football, and at his age, he's got to produce the goods, and he did so last season. Making the move permanent was tremendously important. He did exactly that. Another player I wanted to see from him. Where does he get possession of the ball? Where does he create the best opportunities? He's another player that will try to make magic happen. Nico Paz is all over the pitch, Adam. These are his contacts in possession of the ball. Clearly, you can break it down by how many actions he has. But the reason why I'm putting this up here is you'll see he does everything, right? He's doing good, bad passes, bad touches, good touches, good tackles. This is his actions on a football field. They're not in one location. This guy is a proper number 10. He goes everywhere. Where the ball is, where he needs to be. He's not frightened to get back defensively. He's not frightened to get into the channels. This guy has got a proper quality about him. Last season, obviously, he was excellent. 35 appearances in Serie. He got 6 goals and 8 assists, and this season has been absolute quality.
When I watch him, and you see it from that graphic there, he's one of those midfielders who plays centrally, but he does love to just drift around. You see him in positions where you think, hang on a minute, he's a central midfielder. Why is he over there?
Right.
But he's one of those players who's able to manoeuvre himself around the pitch but not look out of position.
Right, yeah, and exactly that. He will go anywhere, and he has a ceiling that is incredibly high. But let's not forget about it, right? This is the world champions that he's trying to get into. It's not going to be easy for him, right? And he's got to have the X factor. He's got to have that difference from everybody else who's in and around him. I mean, we've just been talking about Garnacho and players like that. This kid's better than all of them. I really strongly believe that. And I think if you get Lionel Messi on your side, who Messi probably already is on his side, to push him and just to become a little bit better than what he has been, I think the kid could be an absolute world beater. I wouldn't be surprised to see him score in the World Cup. I would not be surprised.
Last one we've chosen is Lennart Karl. When you look at him, you think he's quite slight. He's not the most imposing player physically, but we've said making his mark, and he has made his mark on some big games for Bayern Munich this season. He's really stepped up into that first team. Do you think Julian Nagelsmann, the head coach of Germany, will sort of lean on that ability that he's obviously shown to step up in big games?
I think the biggest problem for Lennart Karl is the fact that he's got players in his position who are already young and already talented. Florian Wirtz and Musiala, right? Jamal Musiala. But Lennart Karl, what he's doing at Bayern Munich this season, under Vincent Kompany, has been quite sensational, right? He's had a breakthrough season, more than anyone else, I would say, out of the players we've been speaking about. He became the youngest Bayern Munich player to score in the Champions League. That's historic right there for a club that competes in the Champions League every single year. The youngest player ever to score in 3 consecutive Champions League matches. The youngest to score in his first 2 Champions League starts. The youngest Bayern player with a Bundesliga goal and a Bundesliga assist. The kid's making it happen, and he's grabbing his opportunity. As far as true potential and the X factor, I would have to say that Nico Paz and Estevao have a bit more of the X factor about them as far as artistry go. They want the ball and they want to create and they want to look and make it happen. Karl's about business. He's a Bayern Munich Bayer kid who wants to just win football games. And my oh my, do the German national team need some sort of a spark right now, because they're not great. They're not at all. The talent around Karl, Musiala and Wirtz is not good enough quality, so they need difference makers, and this kid's one of them.
He's that sort of industrial German player that we've seen over the years. These are the kind of players that they create.
How can you not be industrial if you come from a town called Frammerbach? Right? I mean, that's the case.
The pride
right?
of Frammerbach.
The kid is from a region where it's working class and you got to get to work, right? And he's 17 years old playing for Bayern Munich, breaking records in the Champions League. You think of some of the names who have come through Bayern Munich's system or even played for Bayern Munich as a teenager. He's broken all of those records. So who are we to say that this kid can't have an impact in the national team? However, he's got to make an appearance in the national team first. He's an under-21 player right now at 17 years old. He's never actually made his full national team debut. So he's got room to go and grow. But this is what I love about him. He goes all over the place. Successful passes are important. He doesn't necessarily, if you look at his positions, he's very comfortable in dropping out to that right-hand side to pick up possessions. He plays a lot of simple passes. But if you look at the red arrows in and around that penalty area, don't be frightened of those red arrows. Similar to what we said about Estevao, he's trying to make it happen. He's looking for Harry Kane. He's looking for your players, your Serge Gnabry's and people like that to get on and in the attacking third. He's a goal scorer and he's also a creator. He's a wonderful footballer. But I just wonder if this World Cup's going to come a little bit too early for him.
I do like these drawings you've come up with. My 3-year-old daughter brings home those kind of things from school all the time.
You know what makes me feel old? Not that. It's the fact that my daughter's older than all of these guys.
Yeah.
It's a little bit crazy, man.
You said it, not me. Are any of these three players in danger? I mean, Karl, obviously, as you said, hasn't played for the big team. Any danger that any of them don't make it to the World Cup?
Lennart Karl. I think he's the one who's in danger. I would love to see him on the bench. I think Nico Paz, possibly, but still I think he makes it. And Estevao, I have already told you, I think he's going to make the biggest headlines this World Cup because Brazil needs it. So Lennart Karl probably the one to answer your question.